there is a small button in Cubase and Nuendo that can cause a big difference. And this is musical in linear mode at the inspector. So what is the difference? I can show you this at 2 examples. We start groovy. Okay, we've got a piano, we've got bass, and we've got the kick. Now let's change the tempo from 120 to 130. Okay, so this sounds strange. The kick has been moved. So let's move the kick back to bar 3. No, that's not okay. So let's undo this. What happened here? Let's have a look at the piano. Here at the left, at the inspector, we see the musical mode. At the bass, musical mode 2. And at the kick, we see the linear mode. So what is the difference between 2 of them? We've got here the ruler, and now let's add another ruler track. And we do it, where is it? Here. So we put it to the top and we say we want to see the time code. So the first ruler are bars and beats, and the second is the time code. So this one, the piano starts at bar 3. And let's have a look. Kick, bar 3, okay. And now let's look at the time code. So the piano starts at 2 seconds and 13 frames, and the kick 2. So they got all the same things. Okay, let's change the tempo. And now we can see the kick is still at 2 seconds and 13 frames. But the piano changed. The piano is at 1 second and 25 frames. But the piano is still at bar 3 and the bass 2. So it means here at musical mode, we always stay at the bar, doesn't matter what tempo it is. And here at the kick, we always stay at the same time code. So we changed the tempo. So now all the other stuff is coming earlier than the kick. And it's not just the clip on its own. You see, we've got a lot of events in here because we've got a few kicks, and they save the time code. They don't belong to the bars and beats now. That's the reason why it sounded bad when I moved the kick to bar 3 like this. You see? So here it would be better to set this track to musical mode. Okay, now you can say, well, I don't need the linear mode. I just want to make music. Okay, here is another example. I go to a short clip from a planetarium show, and we've got 2 tracks with effects and the strings. So let's listen and have a look. That's it. Here we've got the strings and we've got 2 sound effects. One sound effect is doing the whoosh. And we've got additional high impact. Okay, so we set all the tracks to the musical mode. And now I say, well, I want to change the tempo. Let's set it to 80 BPM. And let's watch and hear it. And we can see we hear the effects, but at the wrong position, because they should come earlier here. And yes, the music is slow, but it doesn't match. And the sound effects are coming not at the right time. So we hear the whoosh and then the high impact. So it's a totally wrong timing. Okay, let's go back to 120 BPM. How can we fix it? So the sound effects should always stay here at the time code. It's not that you should always fix all your files at the time code. When you got, let's say, a kick, and this is an audio file, this should be at musical mode. But here at sound effects, that should always fix the right time code. I always use the linear mode. And now the strings change the tempo, but without changing the sound effects. Let's do it again. And now the strings are coming too late because I changed the tempo. So let's move it forward like this. And what's very important, you can't change this one after you've done some editings. You can, but it won't change anything. So let's say I forgot to set this one, so the effect sounds, to the right mode. So now we are the wrong mode. We are at musically. And now I change the tempo and say, wow, I forgot to set the effects to the linear mode. So let's do it now. And you see nothing changes. It's not like you say, well, I always calculated in euros and now I want to calculate in dollar. So this won't work because Cubase and Nono don't know what you did. So you always got to know what are you doing. Do this thing have to be in musical or linear mode? And there are 3 other things to mention. First one, marker tracks. At marker tracks, you've got the linear and musical mode too, but not at the inspector. Here, you can see it directly at the track. And when you can't see it, just size it a little bit. And here you can change this one. Can be very effective when you are music producing and you use the cycle marker for marker the different parts like refrain and intro and so on. Always use the musical mode. But let's say you want to set the marker for a feature movie and something else, use this mode. The second thing is you can use this mode at group tracks. So let's create a group track. And now you can say, well, there isn't any content at the group track. You are right, but you've got automation. So let's say I've got this automation going from bar 1 to bar 3. You see? And this one is set to musical mode. So now I change the tempo and you see nothing happens. Okay. Now I can set it to the linear mode. And now I change the tempo. And yeah, something happened. So it's very important here too, when you're working with group tracks. And perhaps you can change the tempo. Be aware what is the right setting. The last thing is the video track. So here it starts at bar 1. Let's change the tempo. And now the video starts earlier. Okay, that's not what we want. And we want to change this one from linear to musical. Okay, here is no option. So let's lock it. So I can't move it anymore. Change to 100. Okay, it still changes. So there is a little trick. Now I want to add the tempo track here. And now I go to time warp or warp script and go to here, put here the warp anchor. And now I can change the tempo from here. You see? That's very, very easy. And now you can do it without the warp function. And a small tip, you can set the default track time type from musical to time linear or follow transport main display. Add the preferences, add editing. So these are the differences between musical in linear mode. I hope I showed you a few new things. When you like this video, please give me a thumb up, would make me very happy. And when you get some more questions or suggestions, just leave a comment. See you the next time. Bye.